I'm AC Brown, and you're listening to Is My Aura On Straight, a podcast designed to help you start living from your core instead of your conditioning. Each week, we'll discuss topics ranging from human design, astrology, metaphysics, spiritual self-development, and everything in between. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Is My Aura On Straight. I am your host, AC Brown. I'm your spiritual doula, intuitive strategist, psychic channel, and human design expert. And I'm also an entrepreneur, and I want to thank you so much for joining me again for another episode of Is My Aura On Straight. So as you can tell from the title, this is going to be about generators and the best matches for them. I decided to break up each of these episodes into 5 parts for each of the aura types because I know how y'all get mad about, I want to listen to something specifically about me. So I decided to do that. So the next 5 episodes are going to be my personal, my personal favorites for each aura type. Now, it doesn't mean that your relationship is trash if this doesn't fall into my personal favorites. It just means that you might have some tweaks. Now, also, too, another disclaimer, you really can't tell how the intricacies of the relationship, how you communicate, what centers get defined when you guys are together, what channels get activated, all of that stuff until you see both charts. And I have relationship readings that I've been doing. I released the link that's in the bio if you wanted them. People have been loving them, and they're really awesome just to get an inside look at you and your significant other based off your aura type and the channels and centers that you activate. So we're going to start with generators, my favorites. Generators, hey generators. So like I said, this is my favorite pairings in, order for each aura type. It doesn't mean that your relationship's not going to work, guys. Just like astrology, you can fall in love with a Gemini. I wouldn't recommend that, but sorry, no Gemini bashing. Sorry, guys. If you decide to fall in love with a Gemini man, please, and you're happy, no worries. But that just doesn't work over here. Actually, it's not bad for me as a Pisces, but I'm a Pisces and I have a Sagittarius rising. It's not actually bad. One of my first, if you know what I mean. He was a Gemini and we actually did get along, but my descent in my chart is Gemini, so air signs I actually get along with a little bit. So, but that's for another show about astrology. Anyway, so generators. As I talked about on the last episode, what you guys need in relationships. I'm not going to really reiterate that, but what I'm going to talk about is some common things that you might struggle with in the beginning of this and what your best matches are. So generators, whether it is a man or a woman, it really depends, but generators sometimes generators sometimes have issues when they are in relations at I like to say the beginning part of their mastery. It is very difficult sometimes for the other party to accept that they have to wait or they are working towards something. It's a long road. So that is sometimes really frustrating for generators. So they deal with that. They also have issues with people seeing their value in the beginning, especially, like I said, if they are at the beginning stages of their mastery. So hopefully, I like young generators. And I always say if you're any other aura type and you find yourself in relation with a generator, and they're good people and all of that, young generators are really, really good. Both men and women, and it's just because they're just so. I always feel like generators, regardless, even if they don't know that they're generators, they're always very willing to put in the work to make things work. That's sort of like a subconscious thing for them to make things work or to try and figure things out. So I really love that about generators. So some of my favorite combinations for generators, and I'm going to put them in order of, like, aura type. But of course, my number one favorite for generators, especially, I don't, I would, well, I'll say whether man or woman, etc., is a projector. Favorite for generator men, hands down a projector, hands down a projector woman, or if you're in the same sex, a projector. Whatever sex that is, hands down. I love that combination. Now, the reason why I love it is because just from my studies of researching highly successful couples, not just celebrities, but just people that I know in real life, people who I've worked with, just highly successful couples. Projectors and generators have this thing where they are able to, it's a very legacy wealth building relationship. I really wish I can put my finger on it, but it's just something about having that generator who is willing to put in the work, and especially when they allow the projector to guide them. It is pure magic. And I've seen this both in whether the man is a generator or the projector or vice versa. It's really magical. It's very long term, very it is a very life-changing type of relationship, a very life-changing love. When generators and projectors actually break up, it's like a fairy loses its wings in in a way for me, because it really is something that is kind of sad. Like, damn, you guys couldn't work it out, huh? Like, I really get like kind of a little upset about it, just because of the potential of it. And of course, you shouldn't fall in love with potential and all that stuff, but just the combination is really good. And there's for several reasons. Projectors are very wise. Projectors are wise in their ways. We're here to guide and direct. We're here to guide and direct other people's energy. Once we are recognized, people find value in us, people invite us, all of that stuff. And then we have this person who, who values us, who reflects us, all of these things, and they're able to respond. They're able to respond to us through actions, through things. So projectors and generators, of course, are my favorite. There's prime examples, and I'll tell you about them. Of course, Barack and Michelle. Barack is a projector. Michelle is a generator. Now, here's the caveat. When a projector man, and this is because I see it happen every day. Projector men who don't find some type of mastery, when they get to their 30s, they are like lost causes. Not all of them, but it's very hard to settle with them. Or even, I've even seen in my same sex couple relationship, people who reach out to me, where the woman is a generator and her partner is a projector, and they're at a certain age and they still don't know what they want to do. That happens a lot. And I always suggest that if you're a generator woman, and if you do happen to fall in love with a projector man, or you meet a projector man, just make sure that he's on the road, or they're on their road to some type of stable foundation, because it's going to annoy you. It's going to get on your nerves. And the only reason why it's going to really get on your nerves is mostly because, as you know, as a generator, you've been working towards something for a very long time. And in some cases, most cases, a lot of projectors aren't. They have a lot of ebbs and flows in their careers and what they want to do and how they want to do it, unless they start as a child. Like, for instance, Serena Williams, she's been playing tennis since she was a kid. That mastery is there. Steven Spielberg, he is a projector. He was making films for a long time, and then that mastery is there. Barack and Michelle, that's an example, but when they met, they were both on the same playing field. They were both students. They grew together, but as you can see, he mastered that political field. So when it comes to dating especially for generator women, whether you're in a same-sex relationship or, you know, a heterosexual relationship, generator women, you have to be very cognizant of the type of projector if you fall in love with them, and make sure that you are, if you're going to be there for the long haul to see those things out, then see it out. But don't stick in there, you know, because if you are going to be constantly like, well, what are you doing with your life? Why isn't this working? Because that's too much pressure for projectors. And it's not a good environment for us. I can tell you that from experience. It's not a good environment to have a generator pressure you, because like I said, a generator has already been working towards something for a very long time. So if the projector hasn't been, and they're still trying to find their groove, that's where it kind of gets a little muffled and messed up, in my opinion. So, and of course, for friendship, as you can see, Oprah and Gail, if you're a projector and you have friends who are generators, they love you. It's just a really good combination for guidance, for wisdom, for having that person that you can trust, especially for generators. Generators are really, it's really important for them to have someone that they can trust in their life. And projector people just seem to do that for generators. It's like I said, it's doesn't mean your relationship is not going to be good if you're not a projector and a generator. These are just my favorites. Second favorites, of course, are generator relationships. I love when I see two generators who are powerhouses, who are like doing their thing, who are working towards something. Jay-Z and Beyonce, generator. They're a prime example. There's some downside to having two workaholics or two people who can work, but in most cases, generators, the reason why they're my second favorite is because they're going to understand the journey along with you. A projector is going to empathize with it and to, you know, give you a hug, if you want to say. A generator and generator relationship, you're going to be able to look at each other and be like, yeah, I see you. You see me, I see you, kind of thing. Like, I know what you're going through. I know that this is a road, that this is a journey that you're on. So I love generator relationships. That's my second favorite, especially when generators, when two generators meet when they're younger. Oh, it's just beautiful, especially if they're really dedicated to the work that they're doing, to their crafts. It's really nice. I really love it. Just to see the growth in two people who love each other and who are also growing in their respective fields, as people, all of that. So generator, manifesting generator. Generator is my favorite combination, my second favorite combination. And some other reasons why I love that is because generators can find value in that journey. And like I said, they can find value in that. They can also find a sense of learning how to ask and wait for responses, because they get into this groove with each other. They also are a lot more apt to trust their sacral centers within that unit. And like I said, they honor that journey. They honor those plateaus. They can see what the person is going through because they've been through it before. And when they're frustrated, they know how to deal with each other really, really well. So that's my second favorite, generators, generator. And that's whether it is same sex, heterosexual, like whatever gender roles you're playing, generator is my second favorite. First, of course, is generators and projectors. Second, generator. My third, I would say, and this is a hard third. It's a soft third. It depends. It would be manifesting generators and generators. Now, here's what I've seen. Couples charts that I've read. Usually what happens, I would prefer, if I had to choose any type of gender role combination, I would prefer a manifesting generator to be the man. That's just that's my favorite combination. And then a generator woman. The reason why is because I have a lot of manifesting generator friends, and when they date generators, they get very frustrated with them. Manifesting generator women are very fast movers. They're doers. They're all over the place. They like to move and shake. They like to be seen. They like to be everywhere. And generator men, in most cases, that I've seen, are not like that. They're a little bit more relaxed. They're a little bit more, I don't want to say set in their ways, but they're really chill. They're laid back. They, and that also depends on their profile. And we'll talk a little bit about that in some of the other episodes. But manifesting generator women can be a little bit annoying. I see it happen all the time. It's not your fault. I love you. I have lots of manifesting generator women in my life who are friends, but to a generator man, sometimes it can just be a little bit too much. So I don't like that combination, but it's okay. It can work. The issues that manifesting generators and generators will have, and it never fails, is just that the manifesting generator, the MG, is just on this, sometimes this fast track to nowhere. And then you have the generator who's just like, moving along, like, I'm just doing my thing. I'm going to work. I'm working my business. I'm hanging out with my friends. It's a very routine kind of lifestyle with a generator. A manifesting generator is like, oh my gosh, we need to travel the world. We should go and fly off, fly kites. Let's go, skydive. Let's do this. Let's do that. And the generator's like, okay, sure. Like, but maybe we shouldn't do that. It's very, manifesting generators take a lot of the lead in manifesting generator relationships, and sometimes for a man that can be be off-putting. So that's why I say if I had to choose who would be the manifesting generator in a generator manifesting generator relationship, I would prefer the man to be the manifesting generator. Because of the way that manifesting generators think. They have this, they can do multiple things, as we know. They, love to, just be correct. They don't necessarily need you all the time. And so that just different depending on, the gender roles. So that's my third favorite. So some other issues that come up when it comes to manifesting generators is the generator is going to, when they act and do stuff and when they are planning things, they're going to take those steps. The manifesting generator is going to get frustrated. Why didn't you do it that way? Or you could have did it easier this way. There's going to be a lot of that. There's going to be a lot of who's in control. And so that's the who's in control thing is a very prevalent issue when it's generators and manifesting generators, because of course the manifesting generator wants to be in control because they know that they can do things better, faster, all of that stuff. But the generator's like, well, I'm going to do it more efficiently. And the manifesting generator is like, well, efficient, what's that mean? I'd rather let's do it faster. And so, that is some of the problems that I see. It's not saying that it can't work. It can work. But it's just a lot of tweaks that have to be made. You have to have a lot of discussions and communications on how you do things, because the manifesting generator, whoever it is, same sex, heterosexual, whatever gender roles, they're going to get frustrated because they're used to moving and doing things at their own pace. And then you have the generator who's used to doing things over a period of time or journeying through something. And so that can be just very off-putting for a manifesting generator, and it can cause a lot of friction. So that's, so it's not a bad combination. I just, when I do the manifesting generator episode, I will, say who I like for them, but that's just, these are just my beliefs for what I've seen and research that I've done. So that's my third. My next, surprisingly, is going to be a reflector and generator. Now, and I'll say this because, as you know, reflectors have no definition in their chart. But reflectors, that whole waiting 28 days, yes. However, reflectors can mirror people, and that is extremely beneficial to a reflector. Reflectors and generators actually do really well. It's not, like I said, it's not my favorite. It's my number 4 as far as for a generator picking a mate. But if you have an open and receptive reflector, they will require and I don't want to say minimal effort, but they will be able to go with the flow so well, because everything, of course, is based off of their energy. And once you recognize them and love them, and respect their energy and give them their space, they're really down for whatever. That's the really good thing. They also need to be consistent. Reflectors need consistency, and generators provide consistency. So that's why I love that combination. Generators provide consistency. There's a lot of, I don't want to say this relationship is boring per se, but it's not a lot of pressure, because you have the generator who is used to doing things, taking their time. They're going through these ebbs and flows of their plateaus. They're in this routine. They're on this journey to mastery. And then you have the reflector who is just like, well, don't pressure me. I'm going along with the ride. They're, as long as their environment's healthy, as long as they're happy doing what they're doing, I really like that. It's like I said, it's not boring. It's just a very, it's extremely calm and surprisingly calm. Just because that, reflectors, they have this thing where they can mirror their partner or mirror whoever. So sometimes it's very beneficial for a reflector, because reflectors work off of energy. And sometimes I find a lot of reflectors starting things and stopping them, starting and stopping, or getting very disappointed with the results, and then just, taking the shingle off of the door and saying, I'm going to shut this down. However, having a generator in their life can help them say, oh, wait, this is about the long haul. What can I make work during the long haul of this all? And so that's why I really like that, because it's very authentic. It's a very help me help you kind of thing with them. And what I mean by that is, the reflectors like, well, how can I help you? Because they're about energy, and they're about reflection and mirroring what they're doing in their environment. And then you have a generator who is used to people rushing them, and now they have someone who's willing to be patient with them and allow them to be who they are. So I really like that combination. I really do. So if you're a reflector, don't X out a generator. Don't do that. But reflectors can really be a help to you. They can be a nice calm for you in your life. So my last favorite, of course, is manifestors. A manifestor and a generator. It is not bad. This is my least favorite, only because, it's not just one thing. The generator is, like I said, there's a lot of consistency there. There's a lot of firmness. There's a lot of steadiness. There's a lot of power there. There's a lot of consistent energy, the power, the attention that they need, all of that stuff. On a manifestor side, it's a little bit different. Sometimes their power can be mistaken for revenge. And so what am I saying with this? What I'm saying is this. Look at me, like, what am I saying with this? What I'm saying is that it's not that I don't like this combination. It's just that a manifestor is, they are so good at being and thriving alone in their life and in their business. Generators, I don't want to say they interrupt it, but they're going to be very needy. And manifestors really don't know how to handle that. And when I get to the manifestor episode, I'll tell you my favorite there. But generators can be very needy. And a manifestor does not want to be needed. They want you to come to them after you've tried to figure it out, kind of thing. If that makes any sense to anybody who's listening, if you're a generator or manifestor, if that makes any sense. They don't want you to need them. They want you to include them after you've tried like the hardest, like you've tried your best to figure it out, and then they'll come to you. And so that can be a problem for a generator. Because generators, if you are in a relationship with a generator, you have to be okay with them needing you, because generators will need you. And generators are just not, they just, they don't want to be necessarily needed in that that type of capacity. Needed, yes, like, oh, I need you in my life, I like you, but needed on day-to-day tasks and issues, that is annoying to them. It's very annoying to them. It's almost like a manifestor is going to reprimand the generator. Like, you couldn't figure this out. Like, you're calling me for this. And so that's why this is my least favorite for a generator. Because manifestors move at their own pace. They do their own thing. And so they don't like being interrupted. Interruptions for them in their creative process, creative flow, whether it's work, life, business, friends, that annoys them a lot. A generator is going to interrupt them. A generator is going to ask questions. A generator is going to need you. A generator is going to want you to help them process things. And manifestors are just not down for that all the time. I'm sure there's manifestors like, no, I don't mind helping my generator process stuff and things like that. You probably don't, because you're used to him. But most of the manifestors that I've talked to who have dated generator men, they don't like it at all. Or generator women, they just don't like it. So it's just manifestors have their own. I can't even say that they're like aliens. No, it's not that you're aliens or anything like that. They just can do so well on their own in relationships. So they need someone who is not going to bother them, but who wants to be with them. I hope that makes sense. And so that is not really a generator, because a generator needs to be needed. He wants to be needed. She wants to be needed. And a manifestor will have more times than not where they will not need you. And generators are going to take it personally. So that is why that's my least favorite combination. If you're a generator and you're dating a manifestor, don't send me any hate mail or anything like that. This is just my observation from my years of studying personal friends and their relationships through human design and astrology, and just celebrity couples research, all of that stuff. That's just what it is. I don't like the generator manifestor. That's my least favorite. Regardless of your sex, regardless of your gender, I just don't like it. And that's only because the manifestor is so headstrong and they're so independently. They want to be in a relationship, but they want to be free. And it's just like this. That's not how it works. It's just not how it works. And for a generator, it's not gonna be cool with them over time. Maybe in the beginning, it's like, oh, fine, let him or her do her thing and yada yada. But it's just not gonna work long term. So, yes, keep that in mind. So that's my favorites for generators. So the next episode is going to be my favorites for manifesting generators, then projectors, then manifestors, then reflectors. And then I'm going to talk about my favorite profile types, because the profile is how you do stuff. And I'm going to talk about my favorite profile types. I don't know if I don't want to do astrology, because I really love that. That's one of my jams. But because astrology is so just in depth with your sun, your moon, your rising, your Venus, your Mars. So I'm not even going to go there. We're just going to stick to human design. But those are my favorites for generators. I hope you enjoyed that. Please, generators, don't curse me out. Don't send me any, shady DMs or shady emails. But, just this is my take on it. Other human design people might have this is my view. This is my beliefs. This is what I've studied on my own, what I've read, all of that, what makes sense to me. So just keep that in mind. And if you want a human design, who you are in human design relationship reading, the link will be in this bio. It'll be in the bio, and it's just a recording that's anywhere between 35 and 45 minutes. I put your charts together, and because that's really what will tell how you work together, is putting the charts together, seeing what centers are activated, seeing what channels are activated, seeing how you two work well together with decision making and all of that stuff. So keep that in mind. But thank you so much for listening to another episode of Is My Aura on Straight? And as always, I want you to have a great day filled with good vibes and good energy. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to another episode of Is My Aura on Straight? Make sure you follow me on Instagram at AC Brown, and also check out my website for products and services at www.acbrown.com. And until we meet again, make sure you have a great week filled with good vibes and good energy.